Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, just want to let you know if you want some more true crime content, come check me out over on the Chilling app. It's a great app for anyone who loves to listen to things in the background, and you can turn off your screen, have a sleep timer, and you've got hundreds of different stories by plenty of different narrators. And did I mention you can choose your own audio tracks in the background seamlessly too? Like as you're listening to a story, just be like, I don't want rain no more, let's do fire. They also do a lot of giveaways over there, so make sure you're not missing out. I should also mention that a lot of the stories over there are exclusives. They actually pay for the rights, so it's not just a bunch of stuff you've been reading submitted around the internet. You can click the link in the description to get your 3-day free trial, and after that it's only $2.99 a month, and it's completely ad-free. Completely ad-free. You're talking hundreds of hours of stories ad-free. So if you're looking for more content and that's up your alley, make sure to go check it out. You can find it in the App Store on iOS or Android, or you can click the link in the description and get it. I hope you're all having a happy Halloween season. I hope I got this up on time. I'm not really sure if it's late. Whoops. It's going to be a little bit different than my 911 series. There is a 911 call featured in here, but it's more covering an entire case. There's some interrogation footage, the 911 call. It's a very intense case, so viewer discretion definitely advised. Wouldn't have little ones listening to this. Without any further ado, let's begin. Introduction. Once upon a time, there were brothers named Michael and Robert. They hated their family, so they killed them. The end. This horrifying story and the crayon drawings are the work of Michael Bever, recounting the time he joined his older brother Robert in Familicide. Their parents, David and April Bever, got married in Texas. At the time, April was only 15 years old, and David was 25. By the time she was 42, they had 7 children together: Robert, Michael, Daniel, Christopher, Victoria, Crystal, and Autumn. The Bever family preferred to keep to themselves. David and April liked to keep a close eye on their children. They rarely let their children out to play with the other kids in the area, and while David went to work, April homeschooled their children. As a result, many of the neighbors didn't particularly know the family well. The general perception was that the Bever family was quiet and polite. However, it was clear that April Bever was deeply involved with causes for prematurely born children. She often posted to websites and forums, with some of her comments being somewhat religious. Aside from her, Robert and Michael were both internet and YouTube enthusiasts. Robert even started a channel where he vlogged about Minecraft.
I also found out that Minecraft is compatible with Windows 8, I heard. I don't know how reliable that is.
Apart from that, the outside world rarely had a glimpse into the lives of the Bever family. And the truth is, the family was not as quiet and polite as they seemed. David was incredibly abusive toward his children. He threw them around, physically punished them, and even said he only had one of them around for tax breaks. And although April was supposedly homeschooling her children, they were not part of the homeschooling community, so there was no way of knowing what their homeschool environment was like. As a result, it was a sad life for the Bever children. They were imprisoned in their homes, they weren't allowed to have friends, and their parents, apart from being abusive, were also vocal about an impending biblical apocalypse. They truly believed that there would be retribution for everything that was, in their eyes, wrong with the world. So they did everything they could to keep their children from the outside world, including banning them from standing close to the windows. Eventually, Dave also installed cameras in the home to spy on his family and impose his authority. Build up to murder. As Robert grew up, he became fascinated with murder. He started to learn about serial killers and mass shooters. Michael, who was younger, seemed to have similar interests. When Robert found out about this, the two became closer. Eventually, they pieced together a dream of killing more people than their favorite mass shooters and serial killers, who they started to idolize. They spoke about seeing themselves on TV and having a Wikipedia page dedicated to their gruesome acts of violence. For years, the two brothers started to plot, and tragically, they agreed that their first victims would be their family. After that, they planned to drive to as many locations as possible to kill people. Their goal was to murder at least 100 people. When financing became an issue, Robert got a job at a call center. He was only 17 then. He spent his salary on knives, body armor, helmets, bullets. His mother knew of some of these purchases, but just thought, boys will be boys. The murders. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And on July 22, 2015, an 18-year-old Robert and 16-year-old Michael executed their plan. Their first victim was Crystal, who was younger than both of them at just 13. Michael asked Crystal to come into his bedroom to show her something on his computer. That's when Robert came up from behind and cut Crystal's throat. He expected her to die a quiet death, but Crystal fought back and Robert stabbed her in the abdomen and arms. April was alerted by the noise, but ran down the hall when she saw what was happening. Sadly, Robert caught up to her and stabbed her 48 times. Meanwhile, Crystal, who was bleeding from her wounds, made it outside. Robert went after her and strangled her, leaving her for dead. Back in the house, 7-year-old Christopher and 5-year-old Victoria took cover in the bathroom. Michael pretended he was in danger and being killed so they would let him in. The moment the two young siblings opened the door, Michael stabbed them, leaving a mess that would later shock the authorities. Victoria particularly was left completely mutilated, her insides spilling onto the floor. Michael used the same tactic to get to Daniel, who had locked himself in his father's home office. But before Daniel opened the door to let Michael in, he dialed 911.
Clear 911. Broken Arrow 911. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, where are you at?
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma 7411.
What address?
709 Magnolia Court.
Okay. Are you the only one there?
No, my brother's attacking my family.
Your dad is attacking your family?
No, my brother. He has an idea stealing me. Oh, millions of people now.
Okay, who's attacking your family?
What?
Who's attacking your family?
Yes.
Who is it? Do they? Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, what's going on there? What's going on there? Hello? Hello?
Once Daniel opened the door for Michael, who he thought was in danger of being stabbed, Michael stepped aside and told Robert, "He's all yours." The 911 call ended after Michael took the phone from Daniel and broke it. David was sleeping while most of the killings were happening, and when he finally got up due to the commotion in the house, he met the same fate as everyone else and suffered over a dozen stab wounds before dying. Capture and interrogation. When the authorities arrived, they found a bloody scene outside and heard soft cries of help coming from inside the house. They had to break in and recover the bodies of the deceased family members. The 2-year-old baby upstairs was thankfully unharmed, but besides that, the authorities found themselves in a horrifying scene of blood and murder. April's body, for example, was covered with so many stab wounds that it was unrecognizable. The authorities tracked Robert and Michael to the woods behind their home. They used a canine unit to track them down, and one dog even bit Michael in the shoulder and pulled him from his hiding place. Robert seemed proud of what he had done. From the moment he was captured, there was a smirk on his face. During his interrogation, he was quite straightforward about his intentions and didn't seem to care about what he had done. He told the authorities that murdering his family was just the beginning. Robert's interrogation is not accessible, but Michael's is available to watch, and it shows just how twisted the two brothers were in the lead up to the unimaginable killings.
We're going to do this thing on the second night, and so I started getting ready.
When was that? You second night? What do you mean?
July 1st.
Okay.
Because we started June 30th.
That's when you started making the plan?
Yeah, that's when we found out you could buy guns legally.
I see. Did you guys make drawings or write things down? Or
I think he had a journal. The basic writing is ideas down. I think it's under his bed.
Under his bed?
I haven't checked out.
Is it like a journal? Like a notepad? Or
yeah,
like a book?
It's like a blank book.
Okay.
A black book. I think it's like a little case or something.
So you think he wrote stuff in there?
Yeah, I think he was planning it.
So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen?
Yeah.
What made you realize that?
How serious he was. I mean, he was going through. He started planning on taking all of his money out of his bank and throwing away all of his stuff. So
Why did he want to do it?
That kill people.
Yeah.
Well, mainly two reasons. I think it's because he just he says he hates everyone. He thinks society is pointless, and so he wanted to kill people. And also he wanted to beat the kill amount of other famous people like Columbine and James Egan Holmes.
Okay. Did you kind of feel that way too? Like when you guys were talking earlier,
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with society too, you think?
No,
Or you were just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and exciting?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because you mentioned a couple names are those like serial killers or something?
Well, like Columbine?
Yeah.
Columbine and James Egan Holmes. James Egan Holmes is a guy that shot up the theater.
In Colorado?
Yeah, he killed 12 and...
Wow. How many were killed in Columbine?
Columbine, I don't know, 15.
Okay.
I think.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted, I think he wanted to kill 50.
Okay.
I have a goal.
So so as the planning goes, tell me what plans you started making and coming up with.
Well, originally, I think constant stay throughout the month is we wanted to kill everyone at the house first.
Okay.
And then wait for all the packages to show up over the weekend. And then we take the Yukon and we get out of our state with the guns and start killing, rampaging.
Did you know where you were going to drive to?
Towards Washington.
Washington State or DC?
Washington State.
Washington State. Why would you go to Washington State?
It's kind of the direction we planned on.
And you said Yukon. Do your parents have a Yukon? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a large Yukon XL.
Does Robert have a driver's license?
He has a loaner's permit.
Okay. So he would be able to drive it. Can you drive if you had to?
No, I couldn't.
Well, you can play video games. Surely you can drive a car. Just not very well. I mean, you could get it from point A to B. You might hit some things on the way, but okay. So you had your plan. Mm-hmm. So what happened after? Tell me some more.
Well, I think everything started falling in place. So
Kleenex right there for your mom. Kleenex right there.
There we go. Or maybe it's from your finger. I don't know. Yeah.
But back a week before is when I started throwing away useless stuff.
Okay.
And I bleed, and so did he.
Did you guys give things away to friends or anything like that? Or
Threw it in the trash. I'm sure a lot of it's still in the barrels in the garage.
In the garage?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did you throw away?
Random stuff, toys, stuff that was just piled up in my closet, and he had the room to put the body armor.
Oh, I see.
Old shoes, clothes.
How long have you had the body armor?
The body armor? Robert's had his probably since it started ago, and we've been buying it. Well, he's been buying it.
Was it shipped to the house?
Yeah.
Do your parents know? Did they know it?
They knew he had bulletproof vests. They always thought that was a little loud, but they didn't say anything about it.
Did he have anything else like the gear that the guys wear, helmets or goggles or gloves?
He had a soft Kevlar vest, a heavy, I don't know, it's like a metal plated vest, level 38 and level 38. He had a helmet, bulletproof helmet, a bulletproof DEA mask, and Legos.
Wow.
Also like a knife-proof
arm thing.
Yeah, knife and balaclava.
Okay.
So yeah, it's.
And then the body armor that you had, what was it like?
It was almost identical.
Okay.
Just a couple of different models and stuff.
And where is your body armor now?
Oh, my vests and my helmets. It was laying in the woods. The dog pulled it off of me.
Oh.
I was wearing it.
Oh, you were wearing it?
Yeah, I was wearing the sort of vest and the plate carrier and helmet. So they took that, and the rest of my body armor is still in the closet.
Okay. So then kind of what happened is, you guys started getting all that stuff together and throwing things away. And
and redoing all the packages and the holsters, alibis, all that stuff was going to get cut from Amazon. And so we set a date.
So was the plan to use the knives at first on the family?
Use the knives.
Because the guns weren't going to be here till later on?
Yeah, and the guns would be too loud.
Oh, I see.
So going to use the knives on the family, which obviously did not go as planned.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I just sort of the red stores right now. Like, we didn't put more people out there clean.
Yeah. So then you picked a date, you said?
Yeah, which was yesterday night. That was the date.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yep, midnight when most everyone was in bed except for Mom.
So how did you guys know? He just came and got you, or you got him, or what did you guys do?
We were hanging out, that's good waiting.
Okay, and so...
How did you pick the date?
We're evolving on the packages and stuff that we have. Because, all the ammunition, he didn't want them to see that. So we killed him the day before the ammunition came out, the day after we leave.
Do you guys not like your mom and dad? Most teenagers don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, Mom was okay, but Dad was a little bit,
Just a little bit too much.
Yes.
So, you guys waiting in the room, and was it right when midnight, and that's when things started?
Right at midnight, my sister, she came in, because she was going to go to bed, she came in to tell us.
How old is
13.
Okay.
She came in to tell us that Mom wanted us to get the kitchen done before we went to bed and put the cats up. And basically, we did what we planned. I got to my desk, and I had to look at something to this guy to roll up, but went up behind her, grabbed her, and slept with you.
Really? What did he use?
His large red knife.
Okay. A large red knife?
Yeah, it's like mine.
How big is it?
It's like mine only, but it's about...
Oh, I see.
Big. And then she fell to the ground screaming. Mom and Dad, Mom came in first, and then
Is your room upstairs or something? I don't know. I haven't been to your house, so I don't know.
Our room is downstairs. It's towards the back of the house.
And so she fell down and started screaming.
Yeah, whatever. Kept stabbing her. I kind of freaked out because, I wasn't planning on this.
Were you saying anything, or,
I just stood there.
Okay.
And then Mom came in, yelling, called the police. And then he went over and stabbed her.
Then he stabbed her?
Yeah, he probably was stabbing her, pushed her, put her down the hallway, and got up and ran.
Okay.
She ran out the door.
So she sat down at your desk, and he slit her throat, you said?
Well, she was standing at my desk and came up behind and slit her throat, and then she fell down screaming.
And then he stabbed her some more? When he was stabbing her some more, where was he stabbing her?
Her neck.
Oh, her neck.
Her neck and stomach.
Stomach, okay.
And then my mom came in, and she started yelling, called the police, get Dad. And then he came over and started attacking her. He actually got up and ran out the front door.
Wow.
And once Mom was on the ground, he got up and started chasing after her.
And what were you doing? Did you come out in the hallway?
No, I was just standing in my room. And the process, I don't know what I was doing.
So he stabbed your mom with the same knife?
Yep, same knife.
And where did he stab her?
I think in the neck too.
Okay.
Actually he stabbed her in the neck, pushed her into the kitchen, and then got her. Slit with you, she started screaming, ran into the family, at the same time he left the house.
Okay.
I went over and disabled the alarm.
Okay.
That's what I did. And then
Where's the pad for your alarm?
It's not the front door.
It's what?
It's now the front door.
Near the front door?
Yeah, and so I went over and disabled the alarm so it wouldn't, you know.
But has she already gone outside?
She went outside and then Robert went after her.
So where did she...
She was laying in the driveway and he took her back from, you know, the bench, you know, if you don't know it, and started choking her.
On the bench? Out front?
Yeah, it was like a little bench and they threw the bench on her and went back. David.
David? Okay.
David.
And then, are there any other kids? How many kids is that?
Then there was, she's a baby, she's about to turn 2 toddler. She was up in her bed.
Okay.
I think he forgot about her. And I think she stayed asleep until the police came. And I saw them give her out, so she's okay.
So you saw them carrying her out?
Yeah, I was in the car.
Was that the plan, was to kill her too, though?
We just want to keep that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when y'all got done at the house, where were you going to go?
We were going to hang out there for at least the day. We were going to get the bodies in a room or something in the attic. Clean up and then wait for the ammunition, go pick up the guns, and then we'll leave the next day.
Where were you going to go? I mean, where was going to be your mass plan to get the most bang for your buck?
We're just heading generally towards Washington State. We're going to do it statewide.
Did you guys have, like where are you going to go? I mean, who else were you going to kill? Just whoever you ran into?
Yeah, pretty much. He said 5 at a time, like gas stations, restaurants.
Okay, and then just keep going.
Yeah.
Did he have some money saved up or something?
Yeah, he had about 480 after buying multi-ongoing weapons. Plus
He still had that?
Yeah, plus 100 I had.
Oh, okay. So we talked a lot about your plans in the beginning, because here's what I don't understand is as you and Robert are kind of planning things out, I mean, because you seem like a really smart kid, and that you kind of, I mean, it seems like you had some pretty detailed plans. You guys had good equipment and weapons, and it seems to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I would think that as you guys plan this out, you had maybe more specific plans, like Robert was going to kill this person, and you were going to kill. So who were you supposed to kill?
I was supposed to take my pistol crossbow. Who was supposed to shank his soul. She was supposed to die quietly. Yeah, she was going to be the first one, she was. And then Robert would go in, slit Mom's throat, push her over with him, and both go in and kill and get to it.
Because they were supposed to be like quiet. Right?
Yeah, I was supposed to go with it. And then I would go upstairs and shoot David, Dad, and the guy with my pistol crossbow would kill him, and then Robert would go over and kill him.
Okay.
So did you use your crossbow at all?
No. The only time I ever hurt anybody was when I stabbed Christopher in the neck.
Did Robert use your crossbow?
No, it's just saying all the time.
I was right. The guys that are interviewing Robert kind of gave me a quick version of what he's saying that you did. And you haven't told me everything, okay? So I know you're not being completely honest, and I gave you one shot already.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you might said. I mean,
Well, you stabbed more than one person. So who else did you stab? Or you stabbed more than just one time?
Oh, I stabbed Christopher more than one time.
How many times did you stab him?
I think twice.
Because you don't think we're going to know that?
Stop thinking and go with what you know.
You mentioned forensics a minute ago.
I know.
I mean, I'm just one of like hundreds of people that are going to look at this thing, okay? I mean, we got the state police coming in. There's, I don't know, 20 different forensic detectives at your house right now.
They're going to be there a long time because of the scene that it is.
So everybody that you killed and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're going to know about. And this is your last chance to just kind of let us know, to be honest, to man up and tell us exactly what you did and start making it right.
I hit Christopher. I not stabbed Victoria with Daniel.
You did not stab Victoria.
I tried to stab him.
You stabbed him off.
I got when she was walking away, I tried to go for her neck, but
Is that when you cut yourself then?
yeah, I think after that.
Where did you stab her?
I tried to go from behind it,
Did you cut her?
I think so, yeah.
It doesn't seem like something you have to think about. I know you're still kind of dealing with it. And I wasn't there, I wasn't the one doing it, but you don't have to think about it. You know what you did. So you cut her neck, you stabbed Christopher in the neck. How many times did you stab Christopher?
2 or 3, I think.
And who else did you stab?
Besides Mom.
Because here's the thing, everybody's been stabbed. And you both had knives, and we know you both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of at the same level. And so now it's, who's going to be honest and make this right? And who's a liar? Okay, which one do you want to be?
I'm not liable.
Okay, so you're a man of your word?
Yes.
Okay. And do you want to make this right and do the right thing at this point in time?
Yes.
Okay. What else are you missing?
You want to start over then?
From like,
You tell us where you need to start.
he stabbed. I didn't stab. I was stabbed through a window. So,
What about the crossbow?
the crossbow, yeah. It was pulled back, like it didn't have a bolt or arrow or anything. I tried to fire it and broke.
It broke?
Yeah, I never. That's why I never use it. It's broke. It's cheap.
So it broke before last night.
It broke and I tried to guide fire because I wasn't able to do anything and I just need to uncock it. So I went around there, pulled the trigger and this thing,
And that was a while ago, or that was last night?
Oh, that was last night.
Because you were supposed to use it.
I was supposed to use it. I was caught back and I wasn't going to use it, so I tried to, uncock it and look.
So nobody's going to have any crossbow injuries.
No, they're not.
Okay.
What about the big knife, the machete? Did that get used on somebody?
I think he might have used it on Daniel. I think that's what he might have used to stab him in the chest.
And what about the surgical blade knife?
I think that's what someone was there with, too. So yeah, I think he used all of them. I only used one. I used the green one.
You only used the green one, and you're sticking to that.
Yes.
And so you only stabbed your family because they were in the way towards the bigger plan?
Well, the reason we was trying to kill family is they were in the way and higher count.
Just to start off with a big count.
So is this all a game? This higher count, is this a game?
It's more like trying to become famous, trying to get set a record.
Did you now? Because you said this yourself. You told Robert you killed 3.
Yep.
And so now we're stuck at the point where you've told us you stabbed Christopher and your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one more person that you stabbed and you didn't mention earlier?
No.
Okay.
I can stick to my one that I ain't stabbed anybody else, but this is one person.
How do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like it the minute it started.
I mean, how do you feel about your mother? You watched her get stabbed. You cut her throat yourself, and you watched her bleed all over the place and scream. How does that make you feel?
No, I don't think about it.
You don't want to think about it. And Christopher, your little brother. I mean, you stabbed him in the neck. What has he ever done to you? So he's just a number.
Yes.
And how do you feel about that now?
Pointless.
It's what?
Pointless.
Pointless. Would you be willing to write us a statement kind of explaining what we just talked about?
Yeah.
Kind of start at the beginning.
Like paper? I don't know if I can get that long.
Yeah, pen and paper is what I'm talking about. I got these forms that you can write on. You think you could do that for me?
Trial and aftermath. Robert Bever pleaded guilty to his crimes, which included 5 counts of first-degree murder. But Michael pleaded not guilty. His attorneys handed in a psychological report, and when the state stepped in to conduct an analysis of Michael, he became uncooperative. While awaiting his trial, he drew the crayon drawings of his family killings. On top of that, he also drew images praising Jim Jones and a swastika with the words, "White Power." During his trial, his defense lawyers blamed the killings squarely on Robert. Robert played along, stating that he did all the killing, and Michael just stood by. Robert was already serving multiple life sentences at the time, and he had been diagnosed with a few mental health issues such as major depression and psychotic tendencies. When he first took the stand, he spoke about their upbringing at home and how Michael, who had a speech impediment and dyslexia, would get bullied and unfairly punished by their father. He spoke about how he expected the killings to be easier, and how when his father asked him why he was killing their family, he responded with, "Because I must." In the end, both Robert and Michael were found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Once again, I want to give you all a huge shout out for checking out my videos. If you enjoy it, leave a like. If not, leave a dislike. If you want to subscribe, that'd be super cool. Trying to get to 1 million subs. Slowly on the way there. I don't ask for subs too often, so I gotta start doing it. Everyone says to do it. All the successful people are like, you gotta ask for subs. And I'm like, shit, man. Figure people would just subscribe. Nope, gotta tell them to. So you better subscribe. Much love to you all, and I'll catch you in the next video. And just remember, it's always scarier if it's true. Bad bye.